You are the light of the world. You are the salt of the earth. A phrase that particular gospel resonates with all of us. We know it very well. But it highlights as well that we are called not to hide our talents and abilities. We're called to live the faith as best we can and give witness to that faith wherever we are. We do that in terms of priesthood. We do it in terms of ministry. You do it today. You're here. This is letting our light shine forth, that we have a common belief. We have a common goal. Our goal is eternity, but we have a common belief in how to get there through Jesus of Nazareth. And we are here today as God's family, letting that light shine through. And we, as I say, we do that in a whole host of different ways. We're called to various different ministries in the life of the church and various aspects in terms of how we volunteer the life of the church. You saw it actually here in the entrance procession with our young people, our VAKS, our VACS, volunteers at Knock Shrine. These are young people who are in secondary schools, 17, 18-year-olds, who give their time here from all over the country. And we thank them for it. And they come here on a Friday and leave on a Sunday, and they help people. They let their light shine, and people love to see it. And people love to see that interaction. And so maybe taking us on another little journey along that road is our guest speaker this afternoon, Claire Kilroy. Claire will be speaking on living faith, how our young people are sharing the future. Claire is a native of Galway. She's just been appointed as CEO of the Association of Patrons and Trustees of Catholic Schools in the country from the 1st of September. So we wish her well in that job and in her new position. So, Claire Kilroy.
Thank you, Father Richard, for that warm welcome, and indeed to everybody here in Knock today for the kindness they have shown me today. Good afternoon, everyone. It is an honour and a privilege to be invited to speak to you today of my experiences of working with young people and how it has revealed hope in my life and work. My life's work has been in education, providing me with amazing opportunities down through the years to create and support school culture and Catholic ethos for young people. I am first and foremost a product of Catholic education myself. I attended Catholic schools for primary and post-primary and St. Angela's College in Sligo. I practiced as a teacher in predominantly Catholic schools and subsequently progressed into school leadership positions. I have recently been privileged to support the school leaders of nearly 80 Catholic schools through my work in Lekela Schools Trust. And now I'm about to embark on a new journey, advocating for Catholic education nationally and supporting patrons and trustees of Catholic schools in my role as CEO of the Association of Patrons and Trustees of Catholic Schools. Having spent my formative years and most of my career in Catholic education, I've had the pleasure of working alongside dedicated professionals and young people in the Catholic sector. Today I'd like to speak to you about three areas. Firstly, the role of Catholic education in nurturing young people to become empathetic leaders of tomorrow. Secondly, how young people are demonstrating faith in action and making an impact on their communities. And finally, the hope this provides for us as a society. The teachings of Jesus provide a foundation for how young people live, learn and lead. Sowing the seeds at this young age provides a basis that sustains young people on their spiritual path in life. Jacinda Ardern, former New Zealand Prime Minister, speaks about being a compassionate leader and having the courage and strength to be empathetic. These are the attributes the world so desperately needs and that Catholic education espouses. The Department of Education places emphasis on student voice in today's schools, with meaningful involvement, not just in relation to uniform or organising events, but at the heart of education, in areas such as teaching and learning, curriculum reform and assessment. Gospel values encourage students to stand up for what is right, to advocate for the vulnerable and to work for peace. This forms future leaders who are socially conscious and committed to making the world more just. Young people are champions of sustainability, leading initiatives like recycling programs, green spaces, and climate change awareness campaigns. This aligns with the Catholic teachings on care for creation expressed in Laudato Si. By following the example of Jesus, young people are encouraged to serve others, especially the poor and marginalised. This cultivates selflessness and a lifelong habit of giving back. Helping young people to develop a strong moral compass, as well as developing a strong set of values to live by, was identified by parents when asked what Catholicism can bring to their child's education in the recent Genesis research. This ethical foundation is essential for responsible leadership. Students are grounded in faith, which helps them find meaning, purpose, and hope, even in challenging times. Young people today need to be resilient to deal with a life lived both on and offline. While undoubtedly these are challenging times, with the right support, young people are developing compassion and empathy for others in difficult circumstances. Gospel values aren't just religious ideals. They're practical, life-shaping principles that prepare students to live with purpose and, most importantly, lead with heart. Bishop Brendan Leahy, on his appointment to the Dicastery of Interreligious Dialogue, said, "With so many dark clouds in our world today, it is important to recognise that religions are part of the solution. So often religions are blamed for divisions, but the reality is that religions promote values and practices that are positive contributions to community building and harmony. In our Catholic schools, young people are not just preparing for the future, they are actively shaping it. Guided by gospel values, a commitment to service, a deep sense of community, students are innovators and compassionate citizens. By living out their faith and embracing their unique gifts, young people are becoming the change makers our world needs. I have witnessed firsthand the cultures of our schools where love and compassion are evident. Young people learn to treat others with kindness and empathy. They are building inclusive communities and inspiring a culture of care both inside and outside the classroom. Today's students come from increasingly diverse backgrounds. They are shaping a more inclusive church culture that reflects the global nature of Catholicism. It is common for a Catholic school to have student faith teams that foster values, leadership and community engagement among young people. This model of peer leadership is an example of faith in action, striving to make a difference in the lives of those around them. Faith teams promote and develop the faith lives of the students within their school by being involved in liturgical events such as prayer services, graduation masses, remembrance events, Lent or Advent reflections, creation of sacred spaces, carol services and Catholic Schools Week. I was reminded recently by a past pupil who's now 27 of a moment during her time as head girl. One student in her sixth-year group approached her and the student council seeking to replace the graduation mass with non-religious ceremony. After giving the request due consideration and consulting the senior leadership team, they declined the request. I asked her to remind me of why they wanted to keep the mass. She said that the mass gave such meaning to their time in secondary school, and she couldn't imagine finishing school without the celebration. Student faith teams offer opportunities to explore and understand their faith outside the classroom. They are the visible witness to school ethos in action, for example, in supporting students with the transition into secondary school, provision of lunchtime activities, random acts of kindness, or well-being or friendship week. Their work and witness directly contributes to students feeling welcome in their school community, often participating as leaders of open night and supporting inclusion for all. Students respond to their peers, and when they lead the prayer or reflections, it empowers students to own their own story and their own tradition. Today's gospel is one of light. Your light must shine before others, that they may see your good deeds. Light brings hope. For me, that is what being a Catholic is all about. Spreading our lights and gifts that God gave us, giving service to others, shining on others when they see no light, and bringing hope to despair. Today, on the 146th anniversary of the apparition of Our Lady in Knock, we are reminded of how she gave hope to our people in a time of distress and comforted them in sorrow. I am also reminded of Pope Francis's message for World Youth Day in 2024. Hope overcomes all weariness, every crisis and every worry. It gives us a powerful incentive to press forward, for it is a gift received from God Himself. The Lord fills our life with meaning, sheds light on our path, and shows us its ultimate direction and goal. Through academic excellence, spiritual growth, and a focus on social justice, Catholic education empowers youth to respond to the challenges of today while building a more hopeful tomorrow. That sense of hope empowers them to envisage and build a better future. Pope Leo XIV, just a few weeks ago, addressed the Assembly at the Mass for the Jubilee of Young People. In his address, he said, "Jesus is our hope." Pope Leo also remembered what St. John Paul II said, addressing young people in the same place for the 2000 Jubilee. "It is He who stirs in you the desire to do something great with your lives, to commit to improving yourself and society, making the world more human and more fraternal." To all of the young people listening today, you are our hope. You are the leaders we need for the future. You are shaping the future by building strong moral foundations. You encourage interfaith and inclusive dialogue. The community service you are dedicated to does not go unnoticed, and you are the future agents of change that is needed. Keep shining your light. With your leadership, the future is bright. Thank you for listening.